Hello everyone, welcome to the preview for the game where we've got some quick fire questions, team predictions, thoughts on the game itself, and of course the juicy score prediction. Now, Sam, as you will well know, there's only one place to start. I know you did a show on it earlier today discussing how much of a blow it was.
Have we lost Nick? Oh,
What?
sorry, Discord absolutely shat the bed there.
Oh, are we good there?
Yeah, we're good. So you
I was
just start again from as we well know, and then it shut out. So go from there.
Yeah, we know basically Hojlund is the elephant in the room in it, essentially. And along with all the other injuries that we're kind of carrying at the moment, it's a massive, massive hit to us. Do you think we've arguably lost our three most important players with these three out?
Yeah, you'd say so, wouldn't you? Because with Hojlund scoring goals that he has, what was it, 7 goals, 9 games? I think it was. Yeah. Like, he's the only sort of forward who's scoring regular goals. I know Garnacho had a couple, but Hojlund was the one contributing the most. Shaw is super important for that overlap with Marcus Rashford and get balls into the box and set pieces. And then Lisandro Martinez, arguably our best defensive player that we have, and we're able to pay out from the back a lot easier. He's press resistant. He's got a good pass on him, and he brings a leadership to the team as well. So yeah, you'd probably say if you did, of all the players you didn't want to lose, that it'd probably be them three, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
He's like you could happily lose Rashford, you could happily lose even Bruno at this point, but to lose those three is devastating.
It's more the replacement in it, like who goes in there, because we haven't got a striker, we haven't got a left back. I haven't got anyone at the club who can play like Alessandro either. So you're hindered there in 3 really important areas. And it's concerning because we've just started to hit some really nice form. Everything's running smooth. Everything's positive about Ineos. People are excited about the plans. And then we just get sat right back down. The main question is, Sam, how do you now set that attack up without going into too much detail? Because we'll discuss the predicted 11s. But what do you think Ten Hag's thinking will be behind it, do you think?
I mean, if you're going to try and remain positive, you got to think this is the time to give people opportunities who've not had them. Like, that's what you'd think. So there's talks of Amari Forson playing. Obviously, Anthony's been sat on the bench for a long time. In my eyes, good fucking reason. And then Amad Diallo, your boy, like, does he get an opportunity? Like, if Rashford's going down the middle, the Garnacho goes to the left, that right wing spot opens. So it should be about opportunities for players. That's what it should be about. So you'd be interested to see the full-back position. I don't know what you do there. I really don't know. Because I don't like Lindelof in either right or left back. I don't like it. And then Harry Amas, probably too early. 16 years old, I think. As much as I'd like to see it, I think it's just too much and too soon for him. So yeah, it's tricky, man. For me, it'd be about opportunity because I don't think then fans would have too much to grumble about if you gave players an opportunity. If you just go back in and play Anthony, the fans are going to give you a bit of shit, aren't they? Because you're like, we know what he's about and we know he's not good enough. But if you come in and say play Forson, say play Ahmad, fans would be like, all right, he's giving the guy an opportunity. Let's see what he's got. And then a little bit more forgiving, I think, after that.
It's just, again, the other elephant in the room is Marcus Rashford as a 9. Yes. Just, he can't hold up play.
No.
I don't think he has the intelligence really as a striker. His positional sense. His
instinct finishing isn't great.
No.
It's not great.
No. And even off the left, he hasn't been in great form. So to ask him to play against, Fulham aren't going to play a high line. They're not going to be, there's not going to be loads of space in behind. They're going to come to Old Trafford. They're going to make it compact. They're going to stress us out and hit us on breaks and stuff. So the other main question is, do we have enough to get the job done against Fulham, do you think?
Yeah, do you want to just check your mic? You sound a bit tinny. Just check you on the correct mic for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tricky, man, because with like I said, the players that are out, they were the ones that were dragging us 3 games. Maybe bar Kobbie Mainoo and Garnacho. Like, Garnacho had his moments, and then Kobbie Mainoo has been phenomenally good. And now you're relying on an 18-year-old and 19-year-old to drag you through a game because your in-form striker's out, one of your most experienced fullbacks and influential people's out, and your best centre-back and best defender's out. All of them would be leaders, and Hojlund was leading by example, and now you're relying on a 19-year-old, 18-year-old, possibly Amadi Forson, possibly Amad Diallo, all young guys, limited experience, and you expected them to get you through games. Fulham, which is always a tough game, like you saw the madness of the last one that we played at Old Trafford. Forest away, which is never fun, and then City. So it's a tricky run of fixtures, man, especially for young players.
Well, I'm sure Fulham fans would be looking at it and be like, this is a good time to play him if they've lost, like, arguably the 3 most important players. But at the same time, they're in really bad form at the minute. They've had a lot of draws and losses in the last kind of, like, 10 games. I think they've only got a couple of wins. No Paulinho, because I think he's serving a 2-match ban, I think, for an accumulation of yellow cards. They've got no Armando Broja or Jimenez either up top. And they are without a win, like I said, in the past 11 Premier League away fixtures, drew 4 and lost 7. Only Sheffield United have earned fewer points on the road than Fulham 7 this season. So they're not good away from home. They could really start to slip into this kind of relegation battle. So in that sense, it's like, I know we've got players out, but you should still be beating them there, innit?
Absolutely. Like, you should be looking at that and going, right, they're in a bad run of form. We're in a good run of form. We've won, is it like 5 games on the bounce, I think? So you'd think form-wise, but then again, loss of players, loss of injuries, that kind of stuff, it affects things quite a lot. And we haven't looked sparkling at home, have we? Like, we haven't sort of shone in any single games. Like, you think Wolves, we barely got away. Oh, that was away. So that was an away game. Sorry. What was the last home game? We played away a lot, weren't we?
We have
West
played
Ham.
away. We played Villa away. West Ham, yeah.
West Ham, yeah. And we looked decent for, like, was it about half an hour, and then we took our foot off the pedal, didn't we, and sort of like things. So can't do that against Fulham. Like, I know they've got all those players out, but set pieces will be tricky because we're shit at defending them. So yeah, it's gonna be a tricky game, especially without some of our best players. But we need the 3 points, because this game and Forest and the 2 games you look at is like, these are games we can win. The City game is a free hit. Nobody expects us to beat City, but these 2 games you have to win to put yourself in the best possible position. So when you do face City and you say you lose, it's not as bad of a sort of dent as it would be if we would have lost these 2 games on top of it, because then City becomes a must-win game.
But even Fulham themselves have started to slip into that. They're only 6 points off the relegation zone, so if they lose this one, the 1 win away from that. So I think that's going to spark them a little bit. They haven't got many players in form. They've got a striker called Rodrigo Muñoz, who's got 4 goals in his last 3 Premier League appearances. So he's in a bit of a purple patch at the minute. And when you look at the performance that Harry Maguire had against Luton, he's going to have to come better than that, innit? Because Johnny Evans came on and looked, 10 times better. So is there maybe a conversation at centre-back, do you think, or is it?
I think this conversation is all over the pitch. I don't think many people are safe at it, really. Like, maybe Kobbie Mainoo is probably the only one where you got and Garnacho. Kobbie and Mainoo and Garnacho are probably the only people who go, yeah, they get on the team sheet. Everybody else is up for debate. Maybe Diogo Dalot, because he's sort of pulled it together the last couple of games.
Yeah.
So those 3, beyond those 3, everybody's up for debate, aren't they? Onana's been all right, but he's flapped at a couple of stuff. Where you're like,
it's all right in comparison to how he's been in it.
But he's still flapping at set pieces, which not good. Casemiro is stupid. I want to get into Casemiro later, but like, he's flying stupid tackles and stuff. Rashford, you've touched on. Bruno, we've touched on several times. Varane kind of be relied upon, injuries and stuff like that. And then, like you said, Harry Maguire, it's like all over the pitch. We're sort of, there's holes all over the pitch, so everybody's up for grabs in my opinion.
Yeah, the obvious target area Fulham are going to look at as a coach, as a player, is our left-hand side. I think Talag mentioned in the press conference that Malacia's be on grass soon, but even then, that's another 2 to 3 weeks that we're talking.
Said that twice, though, haven't they? Said that twice. So.
And he always plays Victor Lindelof there. So do you think that's an area of struggle? I know it's an obvious question, but do you think they're going to definitely look at that to capitalise on that side?
Yeah, you got to sort of look at Willian, who's had a bit of renaissance at Fulham, hasn't he?
And always seems to play well against us as well, Willian. Always.
Like, he went to Arsenal, looked shite, and then where did he go after Arsenal?
He went. I think he went back to Brazil.
Did he go to Brazil?
He went back to Brazil.
Yeah.
Everyone kind of writ him off, and then Fulham's like, "We'll take him."
They got him, and he's looked pretty good for them.
He's been better than Anthony. He'd take that for free.
Absolutely. So yeah, he's looked really, really good. So he's definitely good. They're gonna look at that and go, Lindelof's the weak link. Like, we're gonna expose him, and we're gonna make his day fucking awful, because he's just gonna run at him all day and just make his life a misery. We know Lindelof's not quick. We know he's not very physical either. So it's going to be a long day. If Lindelof does play that, it's going to be a long day for him against like the likes of Willian, I think.
Quite lucky in the sense, aren't we, that the fixtures we have, bar the City one, are not easy ones, but the ones you would want if you're going to start picking up a couple of it. I know we've had injuries all season, but in the next kind of run of games, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, Sheffield, Everton, and City are in there somewhere as well. So you would look at that. I still think they should get the job done, regardless of me, because Fulham are without a very important. Palini is the best player.
There's no excuse. No excuse.
There's no excuse at all, is there? I'm really, really eager to see who's going to be on that left-hand side. I really don't want to see Victor Lindelof there. Well, I mean, would you rather? I think you said this before. I'm not sure, but would you rather Dalot left back and then Lindelof more on a natural side at right back?
But we saw him at right back. It was the Champions League game under Rangnick.
Yeah, Atletico Madrid.
Didn't look good, did it? Like, didn't look good. So
Williams going in as well.
Yeah, like I don't know, man. I don't want Lindelof at either left or right full back. Like, it's just not a good day for anyone.
Is there any other alternative?
Amrabat, left back. I thought he
played better there than when he played there?
When he first came in, the first game he played left back, was it Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Is that the game?
Yeah.
I thought he looked all right. I thought he looked pretty decent.
We played him twice. We played him in the league and then the cup, didn't we?
Yeah.
I think we lost in the league but won in the cup.
I thought he looked all right. I thought he looked decent. So that if you're not gonna play Harry Amas, or you're not gonna play, say, Willy Cambualo at right back, we're gonna go Lindelof, or we're gonna go Amrabat. I'm leaning towards Amrabat personally. That's the way I would go. But maybe he surprises us. Maybe he does bring in Harry Amas. Maybe he does put Willy Cambualo at right back, because he has played there for the youth team. So
Ten Hag ain't that guy though, is he?
No, he's not.
Sometimes when we're kind of asking for a little bit of a curveball, or asking for a bit of the X factor, we never seem to get it. It's always predictable in that sense. So I don't think we're going to get that. And I think with that in mind, that Fulham are just going to target the area. But luckily on their side, they haven't exactly got Lionel Messi. Do you know what I mean? They've got Decode over Reed. So on the right hand side, I mean. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily overly worried, but I think they can definitely, if they can start switching it up and putting Willian over on that side, I think he's just going to cause fucking problems consistently.
Well, Onana's already. Is it Onana's faced more shots? We faced more shots than Luton this season. Is it?
Well, we conceded 20 shots alone against Luton.
Yeah.
There's a stat, as I mentioned the other day, about Klopp. Yeah. In his time whilst he's been at Liverpool, 2 or 3 times, I think he's faced more than 20 shots. We've done it 8 times this season. So I
mean, so you think of how many shots Onana's facing, and you've got Lindelof, and then, like you said, Willian cutting in. He's going to be facing a lot of shots, man. And you know what he's like. Like, I know he's a good shot stopper, but sometimes he will let in stupid shit. He'll let in something, and that's going to be a problem, because we're going to face a lot of shots, I think. So I think there's going to be a lot of shots.
I absolutely agree with that, and I also think we're going to concede. There's no doubt about it. We're going to concede tomorrow, 100%. With that in mind, let's do some quick fire questions. Manchester United versus Fulham at Old Trafford. Will Lindelof start?
Most likely, yeah.
Yeah. Will Willian score or assist?
Yeah, probably.
I think it definitely will as well. First United player to be booked?
Casemiro. Easy.
Yeah. Won me a bit of money last week as well. Cheers, Casemiro. Name a player who's going to have a bad performance tomorrow, and you're not allowed to say Lindelof.
A United player?
Yeah.
Rashford. It's an easy answer, isn't it? Especially if he's playing number 9. If he's playing number 9, then there you go.
Yeah. Who will be the one to watch, do you think?
Kobe Minu or Garnacho, because we're basically relying on those two to dictate this game and get us something, because they're the only two in form at the minute who are not injured
as well.
Yeah,
like, it's crazy, isn't it? I think you remember the last game, Bruno Fernandes last minute winner.
Yeah,
that was a scrapey game as well. Like,
unless forcing, like, there's a lot of rumours of forcing
Yeah. Do you think it's bizarre how he's gone ahead of Ahmad in the pecking order? And why do you think that is?
Well, we touched on, we had not an argument, but a heated debate in the group chat, didn't we? Like me, you, Chivy, because we were suspecting like attitude issues because you were saying there's certain stuff he likes on social media about him not getting game time and stuff, and Chivy was very hesitant. It's like, why is it always the players? Why is it always the attitude thing? Chivy came up with something today. He said like it might be the lack of sort of work rate that Ahmad has and the lack of tracking back, because we know Anthony has that and he will do that. Garnacho will do that also. So I think with Rashford, you know you're not going to get that, and if you've got both wingers who are not doing that, it leaves those fullbacks exposed when they're pushing up, especially like Shaw and Dalot, who like to get forward. So that might be it. Maybe it's that the work rate that Ahmad's putting in, like going defensively and getting back. Maybe that's it. That's Chivy's theory, and maybe Forson is more willing to do that, more willing to track back, more willing to put in the defensive dog work. I don't know. I'm sort of guessing.
From what I've seen of Ahmad at Sunderland, I don't see that as an issue. I mean, I don't know where he's got it from. I don't know if he's seen it in certain games or if it's like a kind of speculation or whatever.
I think it's speculation. I don't think it's because we've not seen him. We've not seen him this season, have we? I mean, we don't get to see training for the most part. So
yeah, maybe it's something in training. Like I said, but everyone's got different opinions on Ahmad. But I'd love to hear everyone else's opinions because it's very quiet in the chat. There's more of you coming in and out. Let us know your thoughts. Would you give Amad Diallo a chance tomorrow? Do you think Forson deserves it? How would you switch the attack up? Please do talk to us because we are going to discuss the starting 11 as well.
Where can Forson play? What's his main area?
To be honest,
on the right or left?
Yeah, predominantly right hand side from what I've seen.
Can he play number 9? Can he play for him?
No, I don't think so. No, not from the bits I've seen anyway. But again, it's like it's crazy. No left back at all available. No striker at all. At Man United, like it's bizarre how you only got one. No fit strikers. I can't get my head around it. It's fucking crazy. But then, I digress. Right, predicted 11 then. What are we thinking, Sam? What's your thought process? Let's start with the back line first.
Onana's in, isn't he? Like, that's a given.
Yeah.
I think Dalot starts, but it's which side does he start on?
He'll definitely start, but was it left back or right? I'd say right back because he's been the strongest there.
Yeah, and
in my opinion.
Are we going Lindelof left back? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Why Lindelof though? Because there's 3 centre backs. Why specifically Lindelof? Do you think? Why not put Varane there?
Did he play there for Benfica?
No, as far as I'm aware, he played as a DM for Benfica, so he played in the midfield.
Yeah.
And maybe he played there. I don't know. Maybe someone could tell us in the chat again. But I only thought he played defensive midfield and was a centre back as well. Played right back, maybe a couple of hands. But he's not pacey.
No.
He's not agile, really.
He's not. I've not seen him take many set pieces, but he's not good at crossing. And he's got a good diagonal on him, but that's really all I've seen. So
so that left hand side is just dead, isn't it? Like completely dead.
We go Lindelof left back.
I think so. Yeah,
and then it's good. Maguire for Varane, isn't it? Most likely.
Yeah, definitely. But again, I wouldn't mind Varane and Evans, to be honest, because I thought Evans was really good. I'd prefer Evans, but I think prefer, but he'll be Maguire, won't it?
And then it's going to be Kobe, Bruno, Casemiro, isn't it?
Yeah, no change in the midfield, I don't think. And then the front 3, do we think
Garnacho?
Forson...
I think Garnacho's in there.
Do you think Garnacho goes back over to the left?
I think he's going to put Anthony in there. I think it's going to be Anthony on the right, Garnacho on the left, Rashford down the middle, personally. But there's been a bunch of stories, and Laurie Whitwell has picked up on it. Amari Forson's in the frame to start his first game tomorrow. Ten Hag really likes him. And apparently in training, they've been playing with a front 3 of Garnacho, Forson, Rashford. That's been the training setup. So
interesting.
He could potentially play on that right-hand side. Garnacho goes to the left, and then Rashford in the middle. So we could go that way.
I'm going to go with that. I think that's literally the only point that we disagree. I think Forson, Rashford, Garnacho. But again, Ten Hag's just, every time we've kind of had a bit of a, like I touched on before, he's always gone with the players that he trusts and the players that he's bought.
To be fair, he has dropped Anthony. Like, he hasn't played
recently
at all. So
it
is what it is. But I think I think he might bring him back for this game. I think we might see him this game. But maybe if he's not effective or he's not doing much, maybe like half time or early in the second half, we see Forson come on because Ten Hag does like him, and like you said, he's clearly skipped ahead in the pecking order ahead of Ahmad. So
I really want Ahmad to start.
I know.
I
So do I.
Ahmad could play as a false nine.
Like I'd love to. I'd love to see it. I really would, but it's just
you could have. In my opinion, the way City kind of used to play when Foden would play there or Sterling or whatever, you could have like a false nine set up where you have Bruno and Ahmad kind of dovetailing between that, that like vacant space in midfield or the space. If that makes sense. So when have I dropped off again?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just repeat what you said. You said about space in midfield.
Yeah, just so like the false nine kind of setup where you've got Ahmad and Bruno dovetailing, and then you've got the wingers quite narrow, and then depending like positional wise, they're all relatively intelligent. Kobe could spread out a bit, Casemiro spread out a bit, Bruno drop in. Like there's options for rotation there. I just don't think he's willing enough to take a risk in that sense. I really don't.
It just doesn't seem to fancy Ahmad for whatever reason. Like we've speculated about different reasons, attitude, work rate, whatever it is. It just doesn't seem to fancy him.
Don't get it.
It's bizarre because I would like to see him. I'd like to see him start. Yeah, no, I think
10 minutes. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, finally!"
Way more effective than Anthony did in like 70 minutes. Like, so I don't get it. I really don't get it because I think he deserves an opportunity, but I just don't think he's gonna play him as much as I love it. I just don't think he's gonna. So, it is what it is. Can I touch on something I wanted to bring up?
Go for it.
I was watching a bunch of sort of videos and stuff. Casemiro, do you think his legs have gone? Because I'm starting to think, I'm starting to think this is the twilight. I'm starting to think this is the end, man. Because we saw it with Kante. Do you remember the last couple of years of Kante where he was just injury prone? He was in tackles. He didn't look quick. He didn't look sharp. He didn't look anything. And that's what Casemiro's looking like. He's chucking in these stupid tackles for no reason. I don't understand why he's doing it, but every single game he's getting a yellow for a stupid tackle. He should have been sent off against. Who did we just play? Fucking hell.
No, oh my god, who did we just play?
Who did we just fucking face? Who we just beat? Luton.
Oh my god.
He should have been sent off against Luton because there was like 4 tackles where I was like, Jesus Christ, mate, like what's he doing? So
reckless.
I think his legs are gone. I think we're starting to see the decline of Casemiro. Personally, I'd love to see it. Like, hear what you think.
I don't want to say it because it does definitely feel like that. I know what you mean. I saw a stat after the game against Luton that said since he's come back from injury, he's been dribbled past like I don't know what it was. It was something like 20 odd times. He's clearly not winning nowhere near as many ground duels as he was doing. But again, I do think the system and the setup is really frantic.
The system doesn't help him. Absolutely, the system is not doing him any favors.
I don't think he's the type. If you're going to bring Casemiro in, like that's why I mentioned City the other day. Like you want to bring him into a system, possession based. You're comfortable. He can just not man mark, but like mark the areas in tight knit spaces and stuff. Like in this one now, it's so open. Yeah, he's got so much ground to cover outside of it. I think that's why he looks exposed.
Transitional style, isn't it? Like it just doesn't.
Yeah, I think it suits him on the ball because he's capable of playing that first time passes like in behind. But I think defensive flair, I think he does struggle a little bit. And for our system now, you need a prime Kante. That's the kind of player that you need.
But that's the thing with Bruno as well. Like Bruno is so suitable to a transition system because he wants to get the ball and bang out of his feet and get the ball going.
Yeah.
But when we're trying to control the game, Bruno is fucking awful because he'll just spraying Hollywood passes, running back and making stupid fouls. I just think that midfield, apart from Kobe, is in a transitional system is dysfunctional. I just don't think it works. I really don't think it works. And that's our best midfield as well, by the way. It's
weird because I like counter-attacking football. I liked it under Fergie. I liked it when Madrid did it in the Champions League and that's how they won it. All the times it's really, really good. But this feels like it's all over the place. There's no control whatsoever. With all that, we was compact and then we hit on the break. With this, it's like players are just
Fergie as well. Fergie as well. We'd hit people on the
frantic.
break, but when we were like in possession, say against like lower league opposition, we just put our foot on the ball and we just pass it about. Like Carrick could just spray passes about side to side, almost very Pep like, horseshoe like, and just let the team come on to us. And then as soon as they would come on to us, leave spaces in, there'd be a ball over the top or a ball in behind, and that'd be it. And you kill the game. That's why we'd end up like scoring like 2, 3, 4 goals against teams, and we wouldn't necessarily look that great doing it, but it'd just be 3, 4 instances where we'd like put the ball in. The RVP era was a perfect example of this. Like, he would just wait on that defensive line and just wait for the ball. As soon as the ball would go over the top, that'd be it, be in goal. It's the end of the thing. And it just, you're right. Like, it just doesn't seem to be any sort of idea when to go, okay, we need to just slow the game down, get your foot on it, pass it about, let them come out, tire them out, and then we just seem to be like, right, score, and then we just go, right, you guys have a go, and then it just seems to be end to end like
basketball,
a fucking football. It's just like, fucking Christ, man.
It's basketball. I think you look at the midfielders who kind of play that style as well. Like Liverpool's obviously very heavy metal kind of football, but they have athletic players in that system. And then likewise, even with others, like I think with Tottenham, you've got Pape, Sarr, and Basuma, extremely athletic and cover. And you saw that in the first game. The first game against Spurs at the start of the season. Yeah, the midfield was just like, we got dominated in there, absolutely dominated in there, and it feels a little bit stupid to me at times doing it in games, especially against smaller teams. Like at Old Trafford tomorrow, that game does not need to be like a basketball game. You can control that game with the players. Casemiro, Bruno, and Kobe, like that midfield compared to Fulham's without a Paulinho, you can dominate that midfield. I just don't get why. It's bizarre.
We need to kill games off. Like me and Chivy have spoke about this so many times. We seem to go 2-0 up and then just go, we're good. We don't need to do anymore. Yeah. And just allow them back into the game, and then we're like 2-2, and we go, for fuck's sake, we're gonna have to find a winner here and do a dramatic win. Like bring Scott McTominay on for 10 minutes to get a fucking winner. It's like if the first half we could just kill the game off, go 3-0 up, and you could just sit. Then if you want to sit back, you could then sit back in your banks of 4 and just let them come at you. And then as soon as they commit themselves too far, you've got the capability, if you want to play this transition style, like a Bruno or a Casemiro, as soon as you regain possession, ball over the top to Rashford or Garnacho, who are quick enough to do it, and then it's 4-0. And then, it's just, I don't get it, man. It really frustrates me that we can't kill games off anymore. Like, I don't know why we can't do it.
In fairness to Ten Hag as well, I think he sets them up a lot of the times to win, but either one, they don't convert the chances, 2, they make a daft mistake, so they don't help themselves. So I've got sympathy for Ten Hag in that sense, because he sets the game plan up sometimes really, really good, and the players really fail to execute it. So it's a bit of both. But yeah, I think the game tomorrow is going to be interesting. I think there's going to be goals both sides. Do you want to kick the score predictions off?
I'm going to the game, so I hope it's a fucking win.
Oh, you're going to the game?
I'm going to the game tomorrow.
I'm trying to get fucking tickets. Can't get any tickets, man.
I'll let you know. I might have something. Let me work on it. I'll try and be positive. I'll say 2-1 United, because I think Fulham do score.
I think we'll have to agree on that, yeah. I think 2-1. Who do you think scores? Get some score sheet, because I can't answer.
Garnacho, just because he's the only other forward scoring. Scott McTominay off the bench. That's the only way I can see it. Garnacho was something spectacular, because that's what he does, and then it's 1-1 till like 80 odd minutes. We bring off Scott McTominay and we pile into the box and he gets a winner. It's the only way I can see it.
Yeah, it's tough, innit? Because you just don't know where to go. Forsen, inexperienced. Rashford is a 9. Garnacho, even in the Luton game, was pretty wasteful.
Decision making.
He didn't have his best game. Decision making was really, really bad. So I think it's going to have to come from a midfield. Like I'm talking maybe a Casemiro or Bruno, or even a Kobe. I think Kobe and Varane I'll go with. I think I'm going to score sheet.
Shah Sam's in the chat. He's saying 3-1 United.
I hope so. I hope so. I'm just really gutted about Hojlund, because he's in form. Like last thing you want when a striker's flying like he is. Yeah. 3 weeks out, missing a derby.
Come in as well. Like if he's 3 weeks and then when he's like back in, if he's not looking 100%, don't play him. Don't fucking play him. Please. And then he ends out for another 4 or 5 weeks, like we've done with Shaw the past 3 games. Played him. It's just I don't want to see that. So just make sure when he's back that he's 100% and he can play. Don't fucking play him if he's not 100%.
Imagine having the luxury of like Liverpool just jot us out. Oh, it's all right. Darwin Núñez can play, an £80 million striker. Oh, Haaland's out. Oh yeah, don't worry. Alvarez can play there. Like each team has someone who Richarlison's son at Spurs, fucking Wilson, Isaac at Newcastle.
I love how Liverpool fans are complaining. It's like you haven't got backups who are equally as good. Oh no, Andy Robertson, Trent's out. Well, that Conor Bradley kid that you brought through seems to be pretty fucking good. So,
it seems
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We are really, really lacking options, and I think that will be the factor in us not getting Champions League football. I really, really do now. So yeah, let's see how the game goes. Of course, well, depending on if I can get a ticket for the game, I may not be live, but if I can't, then obviously I'll be live pre-match and post-match with all the kind of analysis. So make sure you do come and join us. Make sure you leave a like on the video for us if you can as well, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Sam, anything else?
Yeah, check out. I did the update on the Hojlund news situation injury. I'll go into detail about the thing, so if you want to check that out from previous. And if you're a Real Reds Ultra member or you want to become one, we put out our first episode of After Dark, which is a video podcast where we talk about everything except football. We talk about Polar Bear Champion, we talk about shitting in public toilets, we talk about politics, films, everything. So please do go check it out. If you're not a member, you're going to have to wait till Sunday. It comes out on Sunday for everybody else. But if you want to join and you see it now, join a membership and you can get to see it now, and it's well worth your time. It's in almost an hour's worth and it's funny, really funny. So please do go check it out. We had a lot of fun making it, and we're going to try and do it once a month if schedules allow. But yeah, please do go check it out.
Absolutely. Right, enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys, and we'll talk to you in the next one. In a bit.
Peace.